Folks, if you're watching on video right now, your heart's probably going pitter-patter because the poster boy, the dream child, the most fantastic, chiseled man in the in the design industry is here. And I know you love it when I talk about your dashing good looks, Grant.
So, yeah, it's a great compliment. Thank you.
You bet. Grant Koenig with Grain Designs. There is such a cool thing you guys are doing. And so let's talk like nobody knows who you are, okay?
Absolutely.
How do you explain Grain Designs to the average Joe Schmo?
Well, I would say it's kind of it was built out of passion more than anything. A business I started with another student of architecture, Blaine, who I know has been on here before. And I guess to break it down as simply as possible, we build custom furniture, home decor, all home goods and usable furniture out of reclaimed wood and steel.
So you take things that most folks, especially like myself, would say, it's no good for me anymore, right? And you all of a sudden bring new life to it.
Absolutely. And that's what brings, I guess, passion into the projects, because we are creating something out of seemingly nothing. So having the ability to repurpose and retell the story of a piece of wood into a new product that can get used and, live 100 years longer than it had before is exactly the passion. I mean, the reason we do it.
Well, I have to tell you how I first met Grain Designs. I was at NDSU's Bison Bitters Bowl. It must have been 4 years ago now or something like that.
Yeah.
And they had a silent auction and a live auction. And so I was there with my friends, and it's homecoming. And so we're celebrating, having a few libations, and just enjoying ourselves. And up for bid comes this NDSU bar. It's reclaimed bleacher wood from the Bison Sports Arena, and it's this bar. Along with it is like $1,600 worth of booze from Happy Harry's.
Yeah.
Right?
So what were you really buying?
That's a great question. I feel like I'm getting thrown under the bus here. And so they value the entire package at $6,000.
Right.
Like your stuff isn't cheap, because when it comes to quality, it's the very top tier, right?
Right.
You are not the Kia Sorrento of the design industry.
Absolutely not.
And there's nothing wrong with Kias. It's a great product for the price. So you're running the Lexus and BMWs of the world, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's the goal for sure.
And so here I sit at the Bison Bitters Bowl, Grant, and goes up and they say 6,000. Look at me, 6,000. I don't 6,000. Nobody, right? And so they cut it, which every auctioneer does, and they cut it down to 3,000. I'm like, well, there's $1,600 worth of booze here, and this bar is certainly worth thousands. And so I raise my hand at $3,000, and nobody bids. And nobody. You guys were unknown at this point, and it was at the end of the night, and a lot of people had left, and nobody bid, and nobody bid. And they said, going once, going twice. I'm like, I'm going to get this for $3,000. And then somebody in the back of the room raises their hand, and my wife leans over to me and says, that's another realtor that just bid against you. And so I get in a bidding war and end up paying close to retail for this bar, which is so great. It sits in our office now underneath a bison head. And we now have since done how many projects with you, Grant?
I honestly, too many to count. I think it's between, the office and personal projects for you, it's been significant.
You have done at least 3 projects for my house that I can think of, different projects.
Yeah.
And you've done numerous things for our office. In fact, if you show up at the Hatch Realty office, you see Grain Designs and their fingerprints all over what we do. And so it's like, tell us some of the furniture that you make, because I think that you have a potpourri of options for people.
Yeah, absolutely. And we certainly try to. I would say the pieces that we probably excel at or do the most of would be the larger pieces, the dining tables, the conference tables, those type of, I guess, in-home products. We also do probably 50% of our work is in commercial. So we do conference tables, we do sliding doors, we do paneling.
You just did Co-Schedule. You did some incredible things there. Got some great press. You've done almost all the reclaimed bleacher wood from the Bison Sports Arena, right?
Correct. Yep.
In fact, we just moved in our Hatch coaching office to a space downtown. All the floors are the reclaimed bleacher wood. Like that stuff is such a cool texture and technique that you're using.
Thank you. Yeah, and extremely limited. We as we purchased it almost 4 years ago, we're still in the final process of finishing out that whole project. So it's taken a long time, but there's a lot there.
What's the biggest project you've done so far, Grant?
I would probably say we just recently did a bank in Hazen, North Dakota.
Okay.
And that was substantial. It's hard to say, I guess, in terms of cost versus quantity. There's a I don't know. That's one of them.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
What I love about you guys is you're local, and you're doing some things that are really, really out of the ordinary. And the thing is you're taking ordinary and making it out of the ordinary. Folks, if you haven't seen Grain Designs and their stuff, you need to. Right now, downtown at 216 Broadway, you can go to a pop-up shop. And this pop-up shop was originally, November and December, right, Grant?
That was the plan. Yep.
But it's extended. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so we've seen such success, and we've had, it gives us an opportunity to become accessible, and which has been a big problem in the past. Mm-hmm. So having the opportunity to have clients in and tell us how much they like being able to see things firsthand and have us there has been really impactful for us, and the reason that we've decided to extend this at least into March. So we're gonna give it a go. Obviously, some weekends are gonna vary because this is an event space as well. But for the most part, every weekend, Thursday through Saturday. From now and through March.
End of March,
yeah. We're going to try and give it a go.
Well, and here's what we know about that space as well is you're sharing space with Steve Knutson, fantastic artist,
right,
as well as Thunder Coffee, which is some of the best coffee you're going to find in this town. And so Dex with Thunder Coffee is usually there almost every day. So even if you pop by for coffee, you can still get something from Grain Designs or at least see the product.
Absolutely, and he's a real character, so it's fun to at least have a conversation with him if we're not there, for sure.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
If you live at the lake, chances are you are proud of your lake, or even if you have a lake cabin. What are you guys doing to show off Lakes Country right now? Because I think it's a beautiful move.
It has been, yeah. And as lake people, all of us, it was, again, kind of built more out of passion than... I don't know exactly what it would be, but we, as you're talking, we built lake signs. So they're custom signs with a reclaimed wood back and a laser cut steel piece that's the shape of the lake. Mm-hmm. And it also comes custom with if somebody has a specific point they want to, highlight where it's their cabin or something happened on the lake that's meaningful, we can also do that. So it's a custom steel sign that is, I guess, the shape of the lake with a reclaimed wood back.
We have custom shaped signs for states, for lakes. You can do family emblems. You can, and basically, if I wanted to do a caricature of my head, you could do that.
Absolutely.
That would be an ugly reclaimed piece, where nobody's going to claim that reclaimed piece. Grant, I think what you do is fantastic. I think that you and the guys at Grain Design are bringing great gifts to this community, and I love that you're going to be downtown through March. Folks, if you are last-minute Christmas shoppers, or if you take my advice and heed it and want to give some gifts at the most random of times, I'd encourage you to consider Grain Designs. So the pop-up shop located at 216 Broadway, downtown Fargo, open almost every day with Thunder Coffee. Or what website should they go to, Grant, to learn more?
It's graindesigns.com. We also have a very frequently updated Facebook page and Instagram, which you can search as well, Grain Designs.
I'm going to go get some stuff for my wife because I'm a last-minute Christmas shopper. Gang, go to livefargomoorhead.com during the break, and we'll connect with you in just a moment. This is Real Estate Radio with Erik Hatch.